Your website is losing 60% of visitors in the first 5 seconds, and before you blame your ad creative or your traffic quality, the real problem is your hero section is asking them to make too many decisions at once. Most e-commerce brands think more options equals more conversions, multiple CTAs, 5 different value props, hero slider with 4 messages rotating every 3 seconds. But here's the psychology we're missing. The human brain can only process one clear action at a time. When you give someone 3 buttons to click, they click none of them. It's called decision paralysis, and it's burning your ad budget while you sleep. Right now, in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to break down exactly why your hero section is killing your conversions, show you the psychology behind why this happens, and give you the exact framework I use with clients to redesign hero sections that actually convert. If you don't know about me, I'm Alex. I run a marketing agency focused on CRO and ad creatives for e-commerce brands, and I've audited probably 100 websites at this point. And I can tell you this hero section issue shows up in about 80% of them. These are brands spending 5 figures a month on Facebook ads, Google ads, TikTok, driving solid traffic. The product is good, the pricing makes sense, but the second someone lands on their homepage, landing page, it's like walking into a store where 7 different salespeople rush you at once, all shouting different offers. Your brain just freezes, you can't process it, so you leave. And here's the thing that drives me crazy about this. You're paying for every single one of these visitors. Depending on your niche, you're paying anywhere from $0.5 to $1.5 per click, sometimes more. Let's do the math really quick. If you're driving 1,000 visitors a day to your site and 60% of them bounce in the first 5 seconds, you just wasted $300 to $900 that day. And people who clicked your ad because they were interested but bounced before they even understood what you offer. That's not a traffic problem, that's not a product problem, this is a design problem and it's fixable. What happens in those first 5 seconds? So let me walk you through what's actually happening in those first 5 seconds. Because once you understand the psychology, the solution becomes obvious. When someone lands on your website, the brain is in what's called low attention mode. They're not reading, they're scanning, they're pattern matching, and they're asking one question: is it worth my time? That's it. They're making that call in 3 to 5 seconds based on how quickly they can figure out what you do and whether it's relevant to them. Your hero section has one job: answer that question immediately. What do you do and why should I care? But most brands try to answer like 5 questions at once. I see this all the time. The headline is talking about quality, the sub-headline is about fast shipping, there's a CTA for shop now, another one for learn more, a third button for sign up and save 10%. And on top of all that, there's a hero slider rotating through 4 different product categories every 3 seconds. And now your visitor's brain is sitting there trying to figure out, okay, which button am I supposed to click? What's the main message here? Is it about quality or speed or discounts? What does this brand even sell? In that moment of confusion, that 2-second pause where the brain is trying to process too much information, they bounce. They hit the back button. They close the tab. They go back to scrolling Instagram. You just lost them. Let's get to Hicks' Law. Why more choices kill conversions. This is a psychological principle called Hicks' Law, and it's been proven over and over in user experience research. Hicks' Law says the time it takes to make a decision increases with the number of options you present. More choices equals slower decisions. And on the internet, where attention spans are measured in seconds, slower decisions equals to no decisions. People aren't going to sit there and think about which CTA is the right one for them. If it's not immediately obvious what you want them to do, they're gone. Now here is where people get this wrong when they hear first about Hicks' Law. They think the solution is just to remove everything, make it super minimal, take out all CTAs, strip the page down to almost nothing. That's not it. The goal isn't to have less, the goal is to have clarity. One clear message, one clear action, one clear path forward. Think about the best landing pages you've ever been on. I'm talking about Apple product pages, Tesla, high converting DTC brands like Ridge Wallet or MVMT. What do all of these pages have in common? When you land on them, you know exactly what they're offering, exactly what they want you to do next. There's no confusion, no guessing, no decision fatigue, just total clarity. Here we got some examples. But here section. Headline, very general and generic. Premium quality products. Sub-headline, fast shipping and easy returns. CTAs, shop now, learn more, get 10% off. What's the value prop? Is it quality? Is it speed? Is it the discount? I have no fucking idea. The visitor has no idea. You're sending 3 different signals at once and the brain just can't lock onto any of them. Good hero section. Headline. The only backpack you ever need. Sub-headline. Lifetime warranty. Zero compromises. CTA, shop backpacks. Immediately I know what you sell. I know what makes you different. Lifetime warranty, that's your angle. And I know what to do next. There's no ambiguity, no extra decisions. So here's the framework I use when I'm redesigning hero sections for my clients. I call it the single path framework, and it's dead simple, but most brands don't follow it. Identify your number one value proposition, not your top three, your one. The single thing that makes someone choose you over a competitor. Is it quality? Is it speed? Is it customization? Is it price? Pick one and commit to it. If you try to communicate three value props in your hero section, you're communicating zero. Because the visitor's brain can't prioritize them, so it just ignores all of them. Number 2. Write a headline that communicates that value prop in 10 words or less. This is not a place for clever wordplay or brand storytelling. This is the place for brutal clarity. Tell people what you do in the most direct way possible. If you sell custom sneakers, your headline should be something like custom sneakers designed by you, not step into your unique style or some vague shit like that. Just tell them what you sell. Number 3. Support your headline with a sub-headline that adds one layer of proof. If your headline is custom sneakers designed by you, your sub-headline might be handmade in Italy, delivered in 7 days. You're adding credibility in removing a potential objection. People might worry custom means slow. You just told them it's not, but you're not adding a second value prop, you're supporting the first one. Number 4. One CTA, one button, one action. And make it specific. Don't just say learn more. That vague sell, nobody knows what happens when they click it. Say design your sneakers or shop custom shoes. Tell them exactly what's on the other side of that button. Now let's talk about what you need to remove, because it's just as important as what you add. Kill your hero slider. I know it seems like a good idea. I know your team probably spent time designing 4 different sliders to showcase different products or messages, but hero sliders are conversion killers. Here's why. Every time the slider rotates to a new message, you're interrupting the visitor's thought process. They're in the middle of reading your first headline, trying to figure out what you do, and boom, it switches to a completely different message about something else. Now they're confused about what your site is even about. It's like trying to have a conversation with someone who changes the subject every 5 seconds. You can't follow it. If you have multiple product lines that you want to highlight, create dedicated landing pages for each one. Drive traffic specifically to those pages based on what people clicked in your ad. Don't try to cram everything into one rotating hero section. It doesn't work. Remove secondary CTAs. If you got shop now and learn more sitting right next to each other, you're creating decision friction. The visitor has to stop and think, which one should I click? And in that moment of thinking, a percentage of them are just going to bounce instead. Pick the CTA that moves people furthest down your funnel and commit to it. Remove generic trust badges from a hero section. I'm talking about as in Forbes or trusted by 10,000 plus customers or whatever. That stuff has its place further down the page, after you actually told people what you do and why it matters. But in the hero section, it's just noise. It's extra visual information that the brain has to process. And it's not helping answer the main question, what do you sell and why should I care? Move it lower. Cognitive load theory and mobile optimization. The psychology behind why this works goes even deeper than just Hicks' law. It's rooted in something called cognitive load theory. Your brain has a limited amount of processing power at any given moment. When you land on a website, your brain is already working. It's processing visual information, reading text, scanning for patterns, deciding if this is relevant to your needs. Every extra element you add to the hero section increases the cognitive load. Every extra button, every extra message, every trust badge, all of it is asking the brain to work harder. And here's the thing, when the brain has to work too hard for something that should be simple, just opts out. It's the same reason you don't want to figure out a complicated menu at a restaurant when you're hungry. You just want someone to tell you what's good. You don't want 7 options with lengthy descriptions, you want clarity. Your website visitors are the same way. They don't want to decode your hero section like it's a puzzle. They want you to just tell them what you do so they can decide if it's for them. On desktop, if you've got a decent amount of screen real estate, you can maybe get away with a slightly busier hero section, though I still wouldn't recommend it. But mobile, which is probably 60 to 70% of your traffic depending on your niche, you've got maybe 4 inches of vertical space before someone has to scroll. That's it. If you're trying to cram multiple CTAs, rotating messages, and 5 different value props into that tiny space, it's completely overwhelming. It looks like a visual chaos. Mobile forces you to prioritize one headline, one CTA, that's all you've got room for. And honestly, I think that constraint actually makes you a better designer because it forces you to get clear on what actually matters. You can't hedge your bets with multiple messages. You have to pick one thing that's going to make someone stop and pay attention. And once you figure that out for mobile, you should probably just use the same approach on desktop. Because if it works in the most constrained environment, it's going to work everywhere. Here's something else people miss about hero sections. Your hero section is not supposed to close the sale. Let me repeat that. Your hero section is not supposed to convert someone into a paying customer in 5 seconds. That's not realistic. That's not how buying decision works. The job of your hero section is just to get people to scroll. That's it. Get them engaged enough that they stick around to see your product pages. read your story, check out your reviews, understand your value. But if they bounce in the first 5 seconds, none of that other stuff matters. You have the best product pages in the world, the most compelling about us section, killer testimonials from happy customers. If people never make it past the hero section, all of that is wasted. So the bar for your hero section is actually pretty simple. Be clear enough that someone thinks, okay, I get what it is, let me see more, that's it. You're not trying to wow them with every feature, you're not trying to overcome every objection, you're just trying to get them to scroll. So the bar for your hero section is actually pretty simple. Be clear enough that someone thinks, okay, I get what it is, let me see more, that's it. You're not trying to wow them with every feature, you're not trying to overcome every objection, you're just trying to get them to scroll. And the way you do that is by making it branded obvious what you sell and giving them one clear next step. Let me give you the exact checklist I use when I'm auditing hero section for clients. You can literally go through this right after reading this document. Does your headline communicate what you're actually selling in plain language? Not clever language, not brand language, plain language. If someone who's never heard of your brand lands on your site, can they immediately tell what you do? If the answer is no, rewrite your headline. Make it boring if you have to. Boring and clear beats clever and confusing every single time. Does your hero section have one primary CTA or multiple competing CTAs? If you got 2 or 3 buttons sitting there, you need to cut it down to one. Pick the one that moves people furthest down your conversion funnel. Usually that's something like shop now or view products or get started. Whatever makes sense for your business, but it should be one button, not 3. Is there a hero slider or rotating carousel? If yes, get rid of it. I don't care how much time your designer spent on it. It's hurting your conversions. Replace it with one static message, one headline, one sub-headline, one CTA. Test it for 2 weeks and I promise you will see your bounce rate drop. Does your sub-headline add real clarity or does it just repeat your headline in slightly different words? Your sub-headline should add one layer of proof. If your headline is custom furniture made to order, your sub-headline shouldn't be personalized pieces just for you. That's the same thing. It should be something like handcrafted in Oregon, ships in 3 weeks. Now you've added useful information that helps someone decide if this is for them. Number 5 and last. Is your hero section actually optimized for mobile or is it just a shrunk down version of your desktop design? Pull out your phone right now and look at your homepage. Does it feel clean and easy to parse or does it feel cramped and overwhelming? If it's the latter, you need to redesign it mobile first. Start with what works on a tiny screen and then expand it from there. Here's what I want you to do after this. I'm serious about this. Don't just read this and move on. Actually take action. Go to your website right now, look at your hero section like you've never seen it before. Pretend you're a customer who just clicked on your ad and landed on this page for the first time. Count how many decisions you've been asked to make in the first 5 seconds. How many CTAs are there? How many different messages or value props are competing for attention? If it's more than one clear path forward, you've got work to do. Strip it down. One value prop, one headline that communicates what you sell. One sub-headline that adds proof. One CTA, that's a formula. Test for 2 weeks. Watch what happens to your bounce rate. Watch what happens to your time on site. Watch what happens to your conversion rate. I'm telling you, you're going to see a difference. It might not be as dramatic in the first few days, but over the course of a couple of weeks, the data is going to show you the clarity wins. And look, if you want help actually implementing this, because I know it's one thing to understand the theory and another thing to execute it properly, I work with e-commerce brands to optimize their website and boost conversions. This hero section stuff is just one piece of the puzzle. There's product page optimization, checkout flow, mobile experience, site speed, trust building elements, and all of it matters. But the hero section is usually the biggest lever you can pull because it affects literally everyone who visits your site. There's a link in the description if you want to book a call with me. We'll look at your site together, I'll show you exactly what's killing your conversions, and we'll map out a plan to fix it. But even if you don't work with me, even if you just take this framework and apply it to yourself, do it. Your conversion rate will thank you, your ad budget will thank you, and honestly, your visitors will thank you because you're making their life easier by just being clear about what you offer. That's it for this one. If you got value from this, drop a comment and let me know what your hero section currently looks like. I'm curious to see what you're working with, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.